Alright, I'm Vincent, one of the piano teachers here at Vincent Music, and we're doing a tutorial today on St. Thomas, Sonny Rollins tune arranged by Lewis Riley. Now this is from the grade 2 ABRSM jazz piano book. So if you're not familiar with these, they have sort of 3 lists: blues, standards, and contemporary jazz that you do for the exam. St. Thomas is, I believe it's a standard. Where is it? St. Thomas, yeah, it's a standard Sonny Rollins. And they have this section where it's like the head, and you play as written first time. Over here you have the improvised section, and there's like a bass, a left hand, and pitch selections of these boxes, which is really interesting if you're not familiar with just using the chords. You improvise it, you go back, play the head again. Sometimes it takes you to the coda, but on the way back you could actually change it up a little bit, sort of semi-improvised. So you go full improvise first time in the middle section, and then you go back just sort of semi-improvised. Anyway, I'll play it through first so we can break down some stuff. That last bit wrong, and the second last bar to the end actually should go. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so yeah, one of the big challenges for this is rhythm and coordination of right and left hand, first 4 bars. You'll have to figure out a way of how you're going to come to terms with this rhythmically and the coordination. Now, you've got your old standards of counting, which can work for a lot of people. That left hand's quite simple for the most part. If we take the same 4/4 and forget about the 2/2 component for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So that last part's probably the biggest challenge. 1, 2, and 3, 4. So you can pull out all your tapping tricks. So 1 and 2 and 3, and I would actually break a lot of this up because of what's about to happen with the right hand. So we break it right down to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and with the right 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 because in the right hand it's more broken up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 putting it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 that's a surefire way. I put that in fast motion. You might be struggle street for a while trying to get the right hand or just trying to get that left hand, let alone coordinating it together. And when you put it together, make sure you slow it right down. And of course you can do this sort of half play, half tap method where you once you've mastered those 3 elements, you could then say do this 1, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 the other way. That's a thorough way. You could also break it up and think about the quaver pulses. So rather than the beats, now here we're actually not talking, the proper beats of this is minim beats, there are 2 minim beats in the bar. We're pretending for a moment it's 4 beats because otherwise the subdivisions get so small, so it's easy to think about it in 4/4. So in that case, think about where the quaver pulses are happening in a 4/4 bar. So in the right hand, you might feel those gaps. So the quaver pulses will be doing this. So I'll tap the quaver pulses with my left hand and play with my right. So what I'm doing then, right on the quaver pulse. The other way you can do it, try to count those gaps of the rest, because it's particularly hard in that first bar where those quaver pulses fall. So you might even count 1, 2 for that crotchet rest in the first beat of the bar, and then just 1 for the other ones in between. So a more modular way of just slotting them in, like so. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Just counting those rests. 1, 2, 1, 1. Just so you can feel them out. Or you might do them on every count. You might go 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just however you can feel those quaver pulses. Now the articulation gives you a nice memory hook too. If you incorporate that from the beginning, all those 2-note slurs, the staccato at the end, bar 2, and staccato, and a bit of a long hold or an emphasis, however you want to play that. Yeah, that'll help bring it all together. So there's that obvious challenge. That'll be all consuming for a while. And then you go, what about bar 10? Just coming in on that A at the right spot is seemingly, although there are only 2 notes, it can be quite tricky to time it. Right on that bar 10, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So backtracking to the previous bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. Deceptively tricky, that one, so it's worth going over those. And then you've got the solo, so because you're in the sort of calypso style, very chordal kind of melodies, you don't have to get too tricky with passing notes, although you could definitely put them in. Also there's a swing that's optional in that section. We'll just keep it simple. Let's keep it in straight style. So you've got C, E, and G over the first couple of bars. Yeah, it's happening quite rapidly in this piece, but there's not a lot to think about with pitch selection. So again, you could draw things out. I would just start with a really close pitch. Sometimes helps just to go through, you're threading a line through common pitches. So there's many ways to do this, and like just because it's in the box doesn't mean you can't fit it out. Think outside of that box. C, E, G could then become C, E, G up here, and you could rearrange and you go E, G, C, or G, C, E. Shock and wonky notes in there, but you can go all over the keyboard. playing around the arpeggios and things like that. And a more linear way, you can challenge yourself, go through those boxes and you can focus around a note. So C, E, G, just say you're picking C, and then for the next box, D looks close, so we could go to that. So plan out a little pitch map here. Then we could go back to C again, back to C, the next D minor change, 7 change, go back to D, go back to C. I'm trying to find a really simple path. Now the E half diminished, to a 25 we might go down to B flat, that's nice and close. Then for the A7 we go down to A, stay on A, and now what do we do here? I guess we go to G for G7. It's kind of a downward motion happening here. Stay on G for the bar 29, back up to A for the F, stay on G for the next one, G, and G to the end. So you kind of got this range of, just simplify your hand position for a moment, but you're using, it's like a G minor pentascale. So if you put your thumb on G, G, A, B flat, C, D, I just worked it out then by looking at it, but there's just a general downward, doing it this way, there's sort of a downward downward direction of pitch in general. And keeping it simple, so I'm not going to use every pitch in the box in every bar. I mean, a little bit more minimal with this one. Let's see how we go. Bar 29. There's a nice sort of simplicity and a tie-in through that, but and then you get that same direction. You maybe swap octaves for give it a bit of a call and response, a bit of question and answer. Starting again on C. Range a bit, so you get used to a set of notes there. And of course the other thing you could do is slowly walk to a next pitch up to, I'll just do it, it's hard for me to explain at the moment. So you go, let's see, I might even start lower this way. So for the first one, you're going to go up slightly to the D. A for the D minor 7, and G7, I might go to the B, nice written there. Now C7, C. There's a sort of a going up on the next pitch of the next chord change. I'm trying to follow the most linear route going up. I think then you could work it just using 2 pitches. And maybe some up and down, different parts of the range there. Up slightly, so work your pitch number. I wouldn't be in a hurry to use all 3 all at once on every bar. It's kind of overkill, and it's a bit like just randomly throwing confetti or glitter everywhere. We could be a bit more selective and try to tell a story or make a certain shape out of it. Anyway, just start slowly with the pitch selection. There's some ideas of St. Thomas, and yeah, hope that was helpful, and I'll catch you next time.